I've got a bit of a cold, so you'll excuse me if I rattle through with some haste. The UFN 21 card. This is the recap for that. We'll start at the bottom. Charlie Brenneman versus Jason High. Can't quite remember who I went with for this. Brenneman won. He won by unanimous decision. I think the only interesting thing happened in round 3 where Jason High got some sort of submission but wasn't able to finish or something like that. The next bout was Gerald Harris versus Mario Miranda. Now, I know that I went for Gerald Harris on this, and it looks like he won. The fight was stopped. Miranda complained, but Sherdog says they think it was warranted. It was TKO in the first, that one, so not too unhappy by that, because I think I went for Gerald Harris on that. Okami got the win versus Lucio Linhares. I thought he would, I think. I can't really remember my predictions. Anybody would think it was a different card, but in my defence, I actually recorded this a couple of weeks ago, so I can't. It was well in advance, so I can't quite remember exactly what I did. Anyway, Okami, they've given Okami the first round, and he won in the second. It was a doctor stoppage due to some sort of cut. Carl Uno versus Gleison Tibau. I thought that this would go all the way to decision. Couldn't have been wrong. Further from the truth, that one, because it finished in the first round by TKO. In fact, it finished with Tibau on top of Carl Uno, you know, just sort of giving it some ground and pound by the sounds of it. So there we are. Robert Emerson versus Nick Lentz. I think I went for Lentz on this, and it looks like he got the decision on that. I remember saying that I went for Nick Lentz, and I remember seeing an interview with him later where he didn't seem 100% confident, and I thought, oh, have I chosen the wrong person? But no, he seems to have got the decision there. I have to say I didn't see this, the next bout, going anywhere near. Jacob Altman hasn't had, to the best of my knowledge, a very good run at all in the UFC, and he was going up against Ronis Torres, and I thought, you know, Ronis would obviously win. In fact, it went to a decision. It was all 3 rounds, and Sherdog have only given the first round to Torres. They've given the second and the third to Volkman, and indeed the judges, well, there was a split decision there, but it's gone to Volkman. I don't know if he was robbed on that one. I've tried to find the fight, but I haven't been successful. I have to say I haven't been looking that hard, because with it being Easter week, I think I looked once the day after it happened, so it's probably up by now. I might go check that out, because I wonder if I reckon that might have been, I don't know. I would love to see that one, because I didn't think Volkman would be able to do that, so maybe that's a bit mean. Andre Winner has won his match I'm very pleased with. That was against Rafaelo Oliveira, went all the way to decision, and he's done very well. He's been given the rounds, all 3 rounds on the card, so yes, very pleased with that. British fighter, did want him to win. Equally, Ross Pearson versus Dennis Siver. Now, I have seen this one. I was extremely pleased with Winner here. I know that Dennis Siver is supposed to be able to hit extremely hard, and I know that he's also supposed to be some sort of whiz on the ground. But some people said that they thought Pearson should take him down because he wouldn't be able to trade with him, and it looks like, well, I certainly thought that he tried extremely hard on the feet. That's what I remember. Looking at the write-up, maybe I'm wrong here in But the match that I saw, I remember being impressed mostly by his striking. So if there were bits on the ground, like it seems to say here, which I don't remember in the second round, but there we are, then they've obviously sort of been wiped from my memory. Perhaps I was just dead impressed by his striking. I thought he was quite good at striking anyway, but I did worry that if he stayed standing, Dennis would get the better of some sort of striking. So that was fantastic. Possibly reversed here by the Nathan Quarry-George Riviera match, because I thought pretty much that Nathan Quarry would be able to handle it standing completely, and it just didn't seem to work. He couldn't do it in the first round, and he certainly couldn't do it in the second round, where I think he was dropped at one point. Yes, he was dropped. Thought I remembered that. I'm beginning to go crazy now because I can't remember exactly what I've seen, and I look at the write-ups and it's not always how I remember the match going. I don't know if that's me putting stuff into the match or Sherdog just being naff at reporting it. I don't know. But I have to read the thing to think, is that really how I remember it happening? So anyway, yes, so Quarry was knocked down in the second after not doing so well in the first, and I thought he would do very well on his feet, and it was the feet that really got him, really. So there we are. I was also beside myself about the Stefan Struve match. Do you know, it didn't go on, it was seconds in length, and basically, before Stefan could do anything, he was just sort of more or less knocked out. I don't know what happened. I thought he would do so much better than that, but there we are, you know. Kenny Florian versus Takanori Gomi. I thought it would go to decision, and it didn't. I was quite impressed with Florian in terms of he was using jabs a lot, but I couldn't help thinking that Gomi wasn't really replying. At least in the first round, it seemed to be totally Florian. I don't know what happened to Gomi, but I didn't see many strikes at all. I just saw him sort of dancing back every time he got sort of hit with a jab, and I think that sort of carried on all the way until in the third round, when Florian managed to get a takedown. It was pretty simple for him just to get an RNC. I didn't think that would go how it went at all. I think it's a bit of both. I think that Florian has improved on his striking, but I don't know where Gomi was at all. I mean, I think I think that may have been also equally an unimpressive performance in terms of what Gomi is capable of. I certainly thought that it would be more of a war. I mean, I'm not dissing Florian at all. I think that he did exceptionally well, and I think that he would have stood a good chance winning, you know, against the Gomi that we've seen of old. But I don't think that was the Gomi of old. It's not what I've seen of him in highlights. Certainly, he just didn't seem to. He just didn't seem to interact really. So I don't know what happened there. But you know, well done to Florian. He did manage to finish. You know, in the first and second rounds, I think he might have been able to do it sooner. I think he might have been able to take him down in the second round after seeing that, you know, Gomi obviously wasn't doing much in the first round. But I'm glad that by the third round he'd obviously thought, you know, I've dominated on the feet, and it's okay to take him down obviously and you know, dispatch him. And I think that goes. I like that. You know, he finished when he could have coasted to a decision there. Could have coasted to a decision. Some people would have coasted to a decision, particularly against somebody with a record like Gomi and a name like Gomi. They might have thought, oh, better not take it to the ground. I'm doing well on stand-up, you know. I'll be fine just coasting. Florian actually didn't, and I think major kudos for that. Major kudos.